All right, hello, beautifuls and beloveds. How are you this evening? So I have all my people here, but they're not bookending me tonight, but they're here upon need and call. And look at, they set up this nice little makeshift thing for my back so I can maybe do this a little bit longer without shifting in pain. Oh my. Okay, so I want to reach out to you guys to encourage you and to tell you how much you are loved and to tell you how much we are always here on this end fighting, not just for ourselves and the BS that we're going through, but for you guys too, because we understand that as artists we want to keep control of our intellectual property and the right to create and the right to keep what we create, or the right to choose if we should want to give it away. In other words, we have the right to ownership and then do what we will with our property, and no one else does. And it's not just your property, but what I'm speaking of, and my property that I'm speaking of or about, it's the very essence of us being able to create for the certain purposes we want to. There is no reason on the face of this God-given country and earth, my opinion, but in this country that everybody can't create and be free. And my question is, why can't I be one of those people? I'm doing it. But as you know, and you know my story as an artist, my choreography, how I dance, people are mimicking everything I'm doing. So if it's good enough for people to steal, make money off of, and mimic and mock and try to, capture my essence for themselves out of lust and greed, why isn't it good enough for me, the originator of this material? I know the answer to that. There is no good enough reason. These people are crooks, thieves, and they're doing something very, very wrong, and they're going to pay a price for it. I'm not resting. The sun isn't going to rest on this either. God is not going to rest on this. The law is not going to rest on this. People are going to pay a price. So, you as artists, I'm fighting for you too. Not only for me, because what's happening to me, this is like a trial run. If it works out for them, guess what? They're coming for you next. I'm not going to let it happen. I'm not going to continue to let it happen to me. Now that we know what we're dealing with, and I'm not going to let it be something that will haunt you. Because you know what? People who came before me sat on their little asses and did nothing. And now I'm having to deal with this. My family is having to deal with this. We have lost so much. There are four very peculiar deaths and their timing in our family, and also people around us who are trying to help us, and then their deaths are in their families, and 2 major car accidents, which were like, we're not buying it. Sorry, I'm not buying that story. Okay? And then we have things that we're seeing little by little. This has been going on even before I was born with other people. Not to this extent. Not even close. But there's been people that have been trying to do so many harmful things to artists using the media. There are some really great media people, and a lot of them that are stellar, they're being suppressed. And we're seeing that little backpedaling BS thing go on, when the bad guys are caught, they're like trying to make it look like, oh, we're innocent. All right, it's too late for that. You guys are just, too late. And here's the thing. Why is it that we should have to suffer now? Because good people didn't stand up before us. Good people were too afraid. Yeah, we're seeing the death and carnage around us. That involves at least my family, our families. WTF? Why am I not surprised?
Yeah, I hear that too.
Oh, please. This is so cliche now. And stupid. We're waiting for the choppers to come now. Isn't that interesting? This is not coincidence.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're doing that, trying to say, oh, let's intimidate them a little bit. Obviously it doesn't work, because I haven't shut my mouth up and I'm not going to. Oh. Words. I have so many words. Okay, so We're fighting for you guys too. Because I would feel like, I wouldn't be, but I would feel like an accomplice if I didn't stand up now for my own rights to prevent other people that come after me. You know? Or walking alongside of me and I don't even know it. I'm putting a stake and claiming this now. And again, not like I would be an accomplice, and not like the people who came before me who were too chicken shit to say anything and stand up. They're not accomplices, but you know, I hold them a little responsible because I wouldn't have to be going through this crap if they didn't do something about it. And I hold the prior administration, not Trump, but the prior one, I think, and maybe prior to that too. We're finding out a lot of stuff. WTF? Really? An American citizen, a private American citizen. I mean, I know I have notoriety and some fame, but still, the laws protect me just as much as anybody else. WTF. And I know I did not sign any waiver, and if anybody has a waiver, or anybody told a story that, oh no, here's this document, cut and paste on another document, my signature, you're getting busted for, what would that be? Forgery, fraud. There's so much that's wrong with that. Kiss it. I'm still here, I'm still standing, and every day I make progress in my dancing. It hurts, I'm not going to say it doesn't. It hurts to sleep, it hurts to sit, it hurts to stand, it hurts to do everything, but I don't care. I am not letting anybody tell me that I can't dance anymore. I am not going to let anybody tell me what to do with my company, my product, my property, which also includes my product. Alright? I got people who are influencing my inner circle and my family. It's probably coming from their church that they attend. Fakes. You leave my family alone. Stop hint dropping to them. Oh, so this is what I get on a phone call. You should. Isn't that the kind of thing that you should be passing down and thinking about passing down? And I let them have it. I don't care if you're family or not. I'm so supportive of everybody except criminals and people who are doing bad things. If at least I find out that they're doing bad things, I was like, get away from me. Obviously. Oh, I rebuked, and I said, you tell that person who's, and like I know already, who's influencing you to back off and to leave you alone. And I said, I need encouragement right now. I have my end of my conversation, which is 100% legal to do, recorded. So nobody can say, I said, I didn't say. I know what I said because my words are recorded. We have 3 cameras going right now. So, you know, that is to the corporations who are harming us, using all these people and puppeting them. You know, we watched a very interesting Brady Bunch episode. You know where Peter, hey, beloved, do you remember the name of that episode?
I'm sorry, what now?
Do you remember the name of that episode we watched on the Brady Bunch?
The Private Ear.
What was it called?
The Private Ear.
The Private Ear?
Yeah.
Go take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was called The Private Ear. And so coincidentally, we've been going to this used place, used, you know, CD, DVD, record store. And it just so happens that certain things that we're supposed to see, we do. And I'm like, okay, I haven't watched every single episode of the Brady Bunch ever in my life. I loved it, it's cute, you know, as a kid, whatever. I don't think I ever saw this one before. And as we're watching it, we're like, that is exactly the tactic that is being used. Peter, the character, was recording his brothers and sisters' private conversations with a tape recorder. It looks so antiquated, it's so funny. And you know what? To let them know that he heard them, he regurgitates verbatim what they said to their faces. And it's like, the light bulb goes on. It's like, this has been done through the ages. This is a tactic. Who? CIA, FBI, WTF, really? Using corporations? Or is it the corporations putting their people in there? We have a lot of questions, okay? And then we see all these little things and, you know, red ribbons. And why the hell was Cindy wearing dresses where her ass is sticking out? A girl at 8 years old? I mean, it might be cute when they're 1, you know, but after that you gotta like grow up. And I was looking at my own records about, because I was a little younger when that whole movement was going on. It's like, we're really short sticking out dresses for kids big then. And I was wearing a communion dress, you know, or my confirmation, one of them. And my ass is pretty much sticking out. And I'm like, why? Who does that? That's sexualizing little girls and stuff like that. I know it's cute, but why do it? You know, adults, fine, you want to do something like that with your body, but I didn't have a choice. And then this little girl playing Cindy didn't have a choice either. It's like, it's a little inappropriate. 8 years old, your ass is hanging out like that, you can see her underwear. I'm like, wait a second. This is not adults. This is not adults making a statement. It's not a dance show where it's appropriate to stick your ass out like that for certain things, obviously. I'm like, what is going on? Kids? It's the parents that are doing it, because I know damn well I didn't choose my wardrobe when I was a kid. And I know darn well that whoever's acting doesn't get to choose their wardrobe either. So anyway, we're watching this and we're seeing all this stuff, and I'm like, my jaw is dropping, and I'm like, the Brady Bunch, little innocent Brady Bunch. Obviously, like I said, I didn't watch all these episodes when I was a kid. I don't remember half of this stuff, but the impression was that it was very wholesome. And I'm like, oh my. And then you have the little Cindy character wearing her little pigtails, and her hair is bleached like unnaturally blonde. And you can see her roots growing in. You can see hair, you know, growing in. I know enough about hair because I was studying to be a beautician. I have enough hours, I think. Maybe I should go back and get my whatever. And her hair is breaking off. You can see it. I'm like, oh my gosh. I wonder if they just totally did that and bleached her hair, you know, that way to make a statement. And she's wearing red ribbons tied in her pigtails, and she's not even wearing red. And I'm like, that doesn't even match. A little hint droppy. And I'm not saying it was a hint drop to me for today, because who would have known? I don't even think, you know, that's not what I'm saying. This stuff, hold on, it's getting too hot in here. This stuff about the red ribbons means something very sinister. And I have pressed buttons unintentionally realizing it that, oh my God, what my family was involved in, and my great-grandmother and my grandmother and all these traditions they had using the red ribbon as a form of, you know, protection. It's very, very scriptural too. I've uncovered a lot as, unfortunately, the members of my family die. Really, you know, those who know me, that's what I've been doing since the accident. See, we informed people, and then all of a sudden the accidents happen. This is the timeline now. I'm not accusing anybody, but you go figure it out for yourself. And we have documentation of the timing and the phone calls, and when we told people to stop, you know, trying to solicit us for us to give them rights into our home to, like, you know, ratings and BS like that. I'm like, I'm not doing a friggin' survey for you. Why? So you think this is a way of me accepting and signing away my rights for you to invade my privacy? I don't think so. You know, do some research on some of these marketing places. It's very interesting. Okay, so timeline. We called, we wrote, we sent out dissertations saying, there's something very wrong going on here, and we think we figured it out. And then accident number 1. Then not too long after that, accident number 2. And during that time period, that 3.5 week period, we were sending out more and more dissertations. Oh wait, we got some evidence right here, and I'm going to show you. And then people were dying left and right in my family. And I'm like, wait, this doesn't seem right to me at all. I don't care if they had a disease. I don't care if they're heart sick. You know, do you know the bullying where you can influence, these kids do this, right? Influence kids to commit suicide. Adults are not immune to this either. So I'm just really kind of curious about, yeah, there's 4 deaths, and I'm like, I'm not buying it. Ain't buying it. We're investigating everything. You know, some things might be nothing. But in the climate we find ourselves in, it might be something, and it might be huge. And I'm not making fun of our president by saying the word huge. It might be. And it's just all very interesting. So I'm here as a dance warrior fighting for everybody's rights. Not only mine, but everybody, because if they get away with this, guess what's happening? Guess what's happening? So we're watching the Brady Bunch and we're like, wow, because we knew it was happening. It's like, why are these people regurgitating our private conversations? We don't have a tape recorder going per se, right? So it's like, oh my gosh, you know, we're using security cameras, we're using this, we're using that. We've got to question these people. We got to question those people, you know, all around us. What the heck? And then we're seeing these films like The Truman Show and all this stuff. I didn't have time to watch this stuff because we were making our own films about this time, you know. Not the Brady Bunch, I was a kid. But I'm talking about like The Truman Show, Titanic, you name it. All those during that time period. What was that? The early 90s? Mid-90s, I don't know, something around then. And then there's like certain blocks of time where there was a lot of things and I'm like, wait a minute, that's from a phone call, and then nothing for a while, and then you go here, oh wait a minute, that's from this. So we're questioning access, how everyone's getting this. So like the Brady Bunch, the kid had a tape recorder and intentionally did it. And like, this type of stuff has been going around long before we've been aware of it ourselves. And then I had an interesting phone call with my father, and he said, you know what, I was going to do a few things in his life in general and of recent. So I'll talk about recent and then we'll get back to the older stuff. And he said, yeah, I was going to do that. And then all of a sudden, somebody else did it. And I'm like, keep your phone away from anything that you do. Just saying. You know, you got to consider all this technology in the right hands. God bless it. In the wrong hands, it's horrible. What else? So going back years ago, my dad once told me, he's like, I can make it happen for everybody else, but I can't make it happen for me. And I said, you stop right there. No. People are stealing from you and suppressing you and keeping you down. Hello, I'm your daughter. This has been going on. Different access points throughout my life. Same for my father, same for my mother. You know, she looks like a very well-known actress and astronaut. You know, my mother scored way, way, way high here in the country for her intelligence with math. Surprise! Yeah, I am good at math. It's just graphic dyslexia that messes it up. It's so nice to find out this truth, you guys. I'm celebrating. Just by talking with people. Just by looking at my historical documents, by looking at my family and who these people were for real and the connections and all these things. But we found out so much and I'm so empowered. Knowledge is empowerment. You know, I can't even describe how empowered that it has made me. It's not an emotion. Sure, it can make you feel happy and strong, but empowerment is actually an action that causes you to do the right thing and to step up. Hold on, now I'm freezing. It's horrible. Okay, is that going? Good. So I am greatly empowered and we found out so much truth. But anyway, so it's a very interesting timeline. So we've been making timelines for current access, mid-90s to late 90s access, post 9/11 access, during the cancer clinic trip access. So we have different points of access, and as technology has developed, we have found different means of it. But it looks like it's been the same group of people, should I say, or entities, or I don't know what you want to call it. I don't know what to call this. Fucking mess is what it is. But you know, like I said, it's like a ball of rubber bands. You just keep pulling each strand out at a time until you unravel the darn thing and you figure it out. And it is tedious, but I'm actually enjoying the process. It's not fun to discover some things because I'm like, oh really? You know, what's that about? But it makes so much sense now why I was only able to get so far in my life, why I was only able to do so many things. And every time my last name changed, it's like I was able to sneak past these people. It wasn't my intention, you know, but it's what happened. Thank God. But I think that's how I was able to do so much. You all right?
Yeah.
All right. You're doing a good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll take care of your situation in a second. We shouldn't have to live like this, you know. Nobody should. Okay, so I have a lot of evidence and things I'm making public so you guys can see for yourself what is truth and fact and factual truth. This is not how I feel about it or my perception. I don't want that. I don't want my perception. I want the factual truth. I don't want somebody else's perception. I want the factual truth, because otherwise it's just, what, a hot mess. Then we could be getting all whatever over nothing, you know. But there is something to be very upset about, and there's something to be very angry about, and I'm very angry. I'm very angry for the people who came before me and allowed this to happen. I am very angry to the people who came before me who are too chicken shit to stand up. Y'all had more than I did, and I'm doing better than you with nothing. Okay? Yeah, I'm seeing people drop around me. I don't have time to be afraid. I don't have time to cry over this. That'll happen after. I keep promising myself there will be time to mourn later. This is not now. I have to dig in and fight. Dance warrior. You know, I earned the title. So back off, all of you. And we saw posts and people trying to, you know, usurp my thing and put it on themselves. And I'm like, you ain't fighting for nothing. You're suppressing me. You're treating me like a piece of dirt and my family. And then you're lifting yourselves up and heralding yourselves as what? What are you fighting for exactly? For dance? I'm fighting for dance in a way that you can't. This hasn't been done to you. Number one. Okay? It's been my nickname for a long time, so back off. I have been a little warrior. Me, the smallest one in my family. Supposedly the meekest. Meekness does not mean weak. I don't know what dictionary y'all are using, but it's defunct, okay? That's not what meekness means. It has a sense of humility. It has a sense of doing what is right. It has a sense of love. Meekness is not weakness. If you think those attributes to the human race is a weakness, you're sick blankety blank. I ain't gonna say that. Maybe I'll say it later. Okay, so yes, can you tell I'm very, very angry? We just, we watched the President's State of the Union, and we have a lot, we meaning my family and I, to comment upon this. And we are going to do so as free citizens and artists of the United States. So I want to first say I am grateful that he's standing up for the process and protection of intellectual property, not just here in this country, but universally. And you go, guy. We are so proud and so happy for you doing that. And I realize that that not only protects us, but other people. And every single one of these companies that put up that FBI warning saying, you know, stealing and all that stuff, that verbiage and the seal from the United States FBI, whatever that is, right? We put it up on our stuff too. But all you guys are hypocrites who are stealing our stuff and use that seal. And you're getting busted for it. Okay? This is not an approval. Okay? This is this. Boo to you. Yeah. Oh, we're going to get restitution beyond belief. We're going to get credit. We're going to get residuals. We're fighting for all of it. Now, for all of you people who have been held responsible and accountable by our evidence and dates of all this. Do you see this? I am not kidding. Do you know how long this is? Do you know what this is? This is only a third of it. And we had to fold it up and do various things because it's very long. Do you know what this is? This is our accountability to all these hypocrites. You knew and you did nothing? I don't think so. You knew and you did nothing. You knew and you did absolutely nothing all these years. If we can find hint drops from the Brady Bunch episodes of all places. It's a hint drop. It's one massive hint drop saying somebody is molesting little children and the red ribbon is a symbol of it. isn't it? You guys are making yourselves so obvious. We know you're listening, okay? It's just so obvious. Right? And my grandmother tied red ribbons on my underpants with a Catholic patron saint dangling from, you know, the fastener, the safety pin. And, well, she was meaning it to be a good thing. I get it. It's very weird and superstitious, and it didn't do a damn bit of good. But here I am, taking that evil that was done to me, waving around my red ribbon saying, I triumphed over it. I'm going to take that crap and say it means something good. Meaning, I triumphed over it. And I'm taking all these women who have gone through something similar. I'm not saying, meaning similar that they, or boys too, that they were raped as children and they're now adults and they have this mess to deal with. I want to protect these children so they don't have to deal with what I had to deal with and all these other people. I stand for all of it. I am so against this trafficking. I have been so for how many years? Right out of school, Jesus, what was it? Sorry, I know people are going to say, well, you're a Christian and you're taking the Lord's name in vain. That's not really what taking the Lord's name in vain. Taking the Lord's name in vain is saying that you're a born-again Christian and you stand for Christian principles, but you don't do it. That's vanity. You can't top that. That is the worst vanity to God ever. Okay, so, you know, our first film, we had Emmy nominations. That is amazing. We were already doing things in the film industry. I already worked for all these moguls in the film industry before that, but I wanted to do the honorable thing and go back and get a degree. So I had real world experience and the education. So I had street smarts and book smarts. And so is my family, my husband. We did the noble and right thing. Bam, we made a film that hopefully, and we were told, saved babies' lives and mothers' lives from being ruined, because mothers were abandoning their newborn children or just days old children in places that were never meant to be cribs. We got awards for that too, by the way. Nominations. This is not a crib for your baby. Sewers, toilet bowls, trash dumpsters, you name it. That was us, okay? We did it first. And then somebody deletes all this information off our Encopa Films website, Encopa Productions. We own the trademark for that. That's ours. You know, somebody stole our license plate, which said Encopa on it. Everybody knows that, so I don't care if I share it publicly. It's a public record. And then it got stolen at Walmart. And then all these little connecting things, you know. I'm like, really now? And then our website goes down not too long after that. Someone trying to steal and erase our history. We have our plates back now, and the cops, we informed them, and it's like, no, this is ours. Our property. Jeez, our trademark. Nobody can use that for anything. Cut the crap already. Okay, so, you know, we did that to support women and children, and also men too. I mean, you gotta look at it from the men's point of view. It's like, wait, I didn't know she was pregnant and my child was murdered because she flipped out or something. She felt like she had no other place to go. And then there are other situations where, you know, the husbands are abusive. So our film shed light on both sides of the truth. That's all we did. We were real documentarian filmmakers, and it was also a narrative piece too. It was very ingenious how we did it, by the way. And people have been copying it since. We were one of the first ones to do it like this. It was very well done. We deserved to win the statue. Something called My Beautiful Wickedness won. And it's so interesting that I said that on the phone about something before this film was made. Coincidence? Very interesting to me. But I'm like, oh, why is this ringing a bell and so familiar? It was just a little weird.